Hello, Joni Rotten here. I've been learning some things today. I thought I would share. First, oh, wrong page. Okay, so this is a commercial that's by Apple. This is their 2030 status Mother Nature commercial. It just came out 17 hours ago. They're carbon neutral. The link is in the description, or is it? I don't know. It will be. It won't be. You can go look it up. In this commercial, Mother Nature comes into the iPad, the Apple people. And first here, this lady like hides a dead plant behind her back here, as Mother Nature's coming in. She doesn't want Mother Nature to see all the live plants, but she doesn't want her to see that one dead plant. That's interesting. And the commercial goes on, and here comes Mother Nature. Welcome to Apple. You can see. And she says a few interesting things, and I'm going to read some stuff to you. Let's just get Mother Nature. I'll have to change this. Hang on. We'll have to do it this way. Here we go. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, here we go.
The Apple. How is the weather getting in?
The weather was however I wanted it to be.
First, I found that funny. The weather is however I want it to be. Really? That's interesting. How do you want it to be? Keep going, Mother Nature.
Let's cut to the chase. In 2020, you promised to bring Apple's entire carbon footprint to zero by 2030. Henry David Thoreau over here said we have a profound opportunity to build a more sustainable future for the planet we share.
We have a profound opportunity for the future we're going to share. How many times have we heard that? That's what she's making fun of, that global democracy kind of idea there. Everyone is saying it.
I think our 10 o'clock said the same thing.
They all do. All right. This is my third corporate responsibility gig today, so who wants to disappoint me first?
Well, we've got some updates we're excited to share with you.
Materials status.
Is there a materials person here?
Yes, we are in the process of eliminating all plastic from our packaging by the end.
Let me guess. 50 years from now when someone else is left holding the bag?
By the end of next year, actually.
When we're also currently using 100% recycled aluminum in the enclosures of all our MacBooks, Apple TVs, Apple Watch.
What about iPod Shuffle?
It's
a joke. Don't you people make Ted Lasso?
That's a different group.
We're also phasing out leather in our iPhone cases.
What about Brando over there? They phasing you out too?
His leather jacket. Are they phasing you out too, Boomer? Xer, are you getting leather jacketed out? Interesting.
Oh.
What's next?
Electricity.
Electricity status.
We're operating on 100% clean electricity.
What run?
100% clean electricity. Well, let's see what clean electricity is. There's some problems with iPhone. What is clean electricity? Well, let's go check it out. So I have a tab for that. So over here, I Googled clean electricity, and I get this from the NC State University College of Natural Resources News. Renewable energy poses challenge for wildlife conservation. This is even a new article, 2019. It shows some wind turbines there. Anyway, let's go down and see. It's not so rosy. So down here they have a few things to say. A growing footprint. Investment in renewable energy is increasing globally and isn't expected to slow down in the coming decades. About 50 million acres of new land are projected to be developed for energy production in the United States. Where are they going to get these 50 million acres by 2035? Where is that going to come from? Gee, I don't know. And the majority of the impact would come from the production of renewable energy. But renewable energy often requires more land than fossil fuel production, with infrastructure fragmenting or even eliminating high quality wildlife habitat, according to Moorman. It can also lead to a variety of other impacts on wildlife, including behavioral changes and direct mortality. Let's look at some examples. Wind turbines, both land-based and offshore, kill millions of migratory birds and bats each year from collisions. Gee, do you think that the bats, is that why we have a mosquito overpopulation? We're losing our bats. What about the bees? Well, they've already been decimated. We're talking about birds and bats. It's the birds and the bats now. Hydroelectric dams block migration routes for fish, preventing them from breeding and causing a high juvenile mortality rate. What? Yes, killing fish. So we're killing the birds, we're killing the bats, we're killing the fish, and concentrating solar power is known as power towers, produce beams of sunlight intense enough to incinerate insects and birds. The intensity and magnitude of environmental impacts from renewable energy development vary depending on the technology used, the extent of land conversion, and the number of other factors. But the most important determinants is project sitting. From an ecological standpoint, we should be building these projects in developed areas that already have little wildlife habitat. But do we? No. North Carolina ranks second to California for solar power production. So you can thank California and North Carolina for murdering birds, fish, and bats, and whatever didn't make this list. Let's see here. So Forbes has something exciting to say. Battery push by Tesla and other EV makers raises child labor concerns. What is this? Did you know? Back February 8th of 2023, look here. Children, a child and a woman break rocks excavated from a cobalt and copper mine in the Congo. Car makers have committed tens of billions of dollars to dramatically boost the production of batteries for these wonderful electric vehicles in the US, including Tesla. Thank God Musk is here. Recent plan to triple lithium ion cell output in its sprawling plant near Reno, Nevada. Great. All of those plants need vast amounts of costly raw materials, including cobalt, that's mainly mined in the Congo and often by children. Thanks, Forbes, you fuckers. Okay. A study by New York University and the Geneva Center for Business and Human Rights finds that major auto, battery, and electronics manufacturers, that includes Apple, are doing too little to ensure the cobalt they're using doesn't involve child labor in Congo's numerous unsafe artisanal mines. It also calls on these manufacturers and mining and processing companies to help create safeguards that eliminate the practice and improve overall safety. About 80% of the world's cobalt is in the Congo, and 20% of that comes from informal and artisanal mines. Michael says. He's from New York University Stern Center. They're very stern there for business and human rights. They're very stern about the human rights. And who helps to create the report told Forbes. And although companies, including Tesla, claim they don't source cobalt from operations using child labor, 10% of the world's cobalt is coming out of these mines. It's a huge amount of production. I saw one about wood and Kia. IKEA. And IKEA buying, claiming to have renewable resources for their wood and this, that, and the other, and they don't use old trees. And then an undercover went and found out that there were very large trees being used for particle board, just shredded into sawdust to be pressed together with some adhesive. And when confronted, IKEA says, well, we get our wood from this manufacturer and they claim that it is. We must trust them. And when they go to that manufacturer, they say, we get our wood from this company and they claim that they're getting it. And then when you go to that company, they go, we don't know. We're told to do this. This is what we're told to do. It's called passing the buck or the blame game. So clearly we're having some problems, business, in not hurting people, although you keep claiming that you're for the environment and for human rights. And yet consistently, we keep finding that you are not at all. Geneva, you crappy person, you crappy people in general, all of you. They have a zero tolerance for the child labor, but they're going to change everything over to cobalt and copper. So how are you going to pull that off when you want things cheaper and cheaper? Oh, we'll save the children by creating robots that will do it. That's how we're going to save the children. Thanks. Fuck off. This is number 1 of my 4 free articles for the month that I'm allowed at Forbes. You can check out all of this information yourself or just pass it along or don't forget about it. Don't let them trick you. Don't buy a new phone. You shouldn't even have the phone you have. They're gross and they're bad for the environment and they're bad for children, for Pete's sakes. Do it for baby dog. Joni Rotten out.